Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is TUK. So this is the first deck profile I'm gonna do on the channel. And this deck profile, as the title suggests, it's about a deck from Booster 1.5 coming in March. So I'm trying to do a really budget deck. And if you want me to show you all the new starter decks that coming with Booster 1.5, just the starter decks, I'll do that. I have the Japanese version of them, so I will make deck profiles just from them. This deck is so budget, like I only play like a couple of cards out of the starter deck, so it's budget by a lot of means. Okay, so let's start here by the Digimons. So first of all, the Digi-Eggs, we have 4 of the Digi-Egg in the starter deck, and that is Mitomon. So Mitomon got a skill that during your turn, if this Digimon is level 6, this Digimon gain plus 1000 DP. So it's not bad, it's good for a starter deck card. Um, if you are this is a general one, okay? You can play a different thing that's like the Tanimon from the first set, but as I said, I'm just making it so cheap you don't have to pay a lot of extras, okay? So yeah, this is a good alternative. If you play something like a piercing deck, I would suggest you play something like the Minumon from the coming also in the next set. So yeah, so this is a really okay card here. This is for the DJs. So next are the Megas. So the Mega card that comes with the starter deck are not bad. It's the Hercules Kabuterimon. The problem with the Hercules Kabuterimon, in my opinion, it's the evolution cost of 4, okay? So if you are gonna play a heavy cost of it, it's a really good card. But if you're gonna play a heavy cost of it, I would suggest to play a certain option card and a different build. I will get to it when we go to the option cards here. But for now, let's just talk about here's just a bunch of options that are cheap, that I think they are gonna be cheap in the next set. Okay, so first of all, the Gargamon. So Gargamon is evolution cost of 4, 12 to play, 11,000 DP. It got 2 really good skills. The first skill, when Digivolve, one of your opponent Digimon gets rested. Even if that Digimon is rested, it's still getting the second effect of this effect, and that is that Digimon can be unsuspended during your opponent's next active phase. So that Digimon stays if your opponent attacked with something last turn. If you played this and it's still rested, you still can make that Digimon cannot be active during his next standby phase, or actually the active phase. Okay, so it's a really good card. Also, the second effect here, during your turn, for each of your if you have a rested Digimon, this Digimon, no, if this Digimon, if your opponent have a rested Digimon, this Digimon gain +1 security check. So yeah, it's a really good card, really flexible. I like to make decks around it, but as I said, this is a more of a flexible deck, not a strict one type of deck. Okay, so that's it for Gargamon 2. Okay, so next is 2 Argomon level 6. Argomon level 6 save. It's a heavy cost of 5, okay, but it's a really good card as well. So what it does here, it has a download of 3 -3. So download, for those who don't know, it's basically you rest something so that you can play this, and it loses 3 of the evolution cost. So basically this is an evolution cost of 2, not 5, and you can make it 0 with the card I have in the deck, but I want to play this card with its own effect so that I can leave that other card for the Gargamon here. So yeah, download -3 is a really good effect. Next one here is the main skill, and it's during your turn, for each of your rested Digimon, this Digimon gains security +1, and it stacks. So if you have multiple rested Digimon, so this the last Digimon to attack in the turn, this Digimon gain probably like security +3 or 4. Okay, so it's a really good card. It's like a finisher, a big finisher. Okay, so keep that in mind. So next here is the 2 Poncho Stingmon. So I love this card. If I want to make a deck for green purely during next set, it will be just for Bunch of Stingmon. It's my favorite card in green. So Bunch of Stingmon got 9000 dB, which is the worst part about the card, but 12 to play, 3 to evolve, okay? But the two skills are really good. First of skill is piercing, okay? So when you attack an opponent Digimon, it goes through the attack and it goes through the security. And the second skill here, during your turn, if your opponent have a Digimon with 12,000 DP or more, this Digimon gain plus 7,000 DP, so it becomes 16, and it gains security plus 2. So with piercing, so basically even if your opponent have a blocker, you attack with this, it goes through the attack and security plus 2, so that's 3 security just from one attack for these. So if your opponent goes play and something like a Mega that has a 12,000 DP or a Junkers level 7, this is a really good card to drop out at that time and to surprise him with a big attack, okay? So this is a really important card I like. And the last card here is to play in a green deck. This is from Booster 1, and that is Puppetmon. I think this card is not that expensive, and it's just a rare. This is like a desperate measure if you don't want if you want just to use it, okay? And that is it got a play cost of 11 with 3 to evolve. You will not evolve this card unless you really break, so you want to draw, okay? So the first skill is when you play this, so that means it's a hard play with the 11 play cost. And when you play this, you can rest one of your opponent's Digimon, and that Digimon can't be active until end of your next turn. So yeah, not just that Digimon, not unlike Gargamon, this Digimon rest make all of your opponent that was rested, plus the one that you rested, unable to be active during your opponent's next active phase. So that's the big effect here. So it's a really good card for now, okay? And the second skill here is when you attack with this card, you gain +1 memory. So as I said, you can evolve this to gain some advantages if you want, but the main effect of this card is to go ahead and hard play it so that you gain some type of control and to control the situation here, okay? So yeah, that's it for the megas, the level 6s. So next is the level 5. So I only played 10 here. I think this is the good ratio for me. Okay, so I play 4 Rabbitmon. So Rabbitmon here, a simple skill. It's the same as the Gargamon here. So the Rabbitmon has a skill for each of your during your turn for each of your opponent rested Digimon. This Digimon that has this evolution source skill gain +1000 DP for each one. So for each opponent Digimon that is rested, this Digimon gets even stronger. So this is really good. This just to help the something like the Argomon or the Poncho Stingmon go through and do their job. Okay, so this is really important. So that's it for the Rapidmon. Next is the Mega Kabuterimon. I think this is from the starter deck. Just by buying 2 starter deck, this comes in it. This is a really good card. I would suggest playing this in a in a piercing heavy deck. That's why the Hercules Kabuterimon from the starter deck is a good card with this card. As I said, my idea here is to build a bunch of Stingmon with a regular Gargamon and a Mega Kabuterimon so that it gains power and it gains this effect. So what does this effect is? It basically says when you attack an opponent Digimon and destroy it and you survive, okay, you can once per turn you can trash an extra security. Trash that means that it's not security checked, so any effect does not triggers. So this is a really good card. Hefty cost though to evolve 3, unlike the Rabbitmon which is 2. So, but yeah, it's a really good skill. Nonetheless, I think this is a really important card for any piercing green deck. Okay, and the last card here for the level 5s are the Argomon level 5. Gargamon level 5 is first of all has the first skill. The main skill is download -3, so you can play this for basically for free, okay? And the inheritance skill is during your turn when you attack, okay, with the Digimon above this, of course, you can play one rested Digimon from your hand that's level 3. That's really good. So you can swarm the field, so set up for next stuff. And don't forget, when you have a rested Digimon, when you attack with something like the Argomon gains security +1. So when you just attack with the Argomon, play one level 3 from your hand without paying its cost, okay? That Digimon will give you another security +1, okay? Security check. So yeah, that's the idea here for the Argomon, okay? That's it for the level 5s. So next are the level 4s, and we have here a 10 as well. So for Gargamon, so Gargamon is this exact same skill as the Rabidmon, as I said. For each of your opponent's first Digimon, this Digimon gain plus 1000. What's good about this card also is playing cost of 5 with a evolution cost of 1. So yeah, it's a really good card in my opinion. So next is the main blocker of the deck, and that is from the starter deck, which is really good that this comes with the starter deck, and that is Kabuterimon. So this is a 6 cost, 5000 DP with 1 evolution cost. That's really important. That's the most important thing. It has blocker and the -2 memory when you attack with them, but you will not attack with them, okay? So yeah, the Kabuterimon the blocker, and there's another Kabuterimon here, the first one from the first booster. It's basically, in my opinion, a worse version than Gargamon because it's play cost of 6. It's the same scale, okay? But what's good about this one is 5000, so if your opponent plays something that destroys mass destruction or something, like the Volcanic Dramon, this at least can survive it, but yeah, other than that, I don't like this card as much, but it's here as an option, okay? So next are the level 3s or rookies, the more important ones in my opinion, okay? And here we go. First of all, the 4 Tentomon from the starter deck. So this card is basically a free draw, if you consider it that way. So when you hard play this card, when play, you will look at the top card, reveal it, and if it's a green Digimon, you add it to your hand. So yeah, 90% you will hit this and you draw a card, basically. If you're stuck, just play this and like add a card, add the top card of your deck to your hand. Okay, this is it for the Tentomon. So next is the Agumon, in my opinion, the most consistent gaining effect in the green. So gain 1000 DP during your turn for evolution skill, and that's just so good if you are playing the Punch Stingmon type of deal or something. Yeah, this is a really good effect. Okay. Next is the Palmon from the starter deck. So this Palmon, during your turn, if this Digimon is attacking something, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. It's good if you are using the attack strategy with the Punch Stingmon. So yeah, this is just another one good card for piercing type of damage. So depending on the type, like if you are going to play with something like the, let's say the Argomon level 6. So I'd rather go with the Agumon. If you're going with the Poncho Stingmon, I would rather go ahead and go with the Palmon, okay? And the last 2 card here are 2 vanillas. Cost 2 to play Goblimon. Just to use them as easy target to play them with the something like the Argomon level 5, okay? So yeah, and easy to play to the field, to swarm the field. So that's it for the rookies. So let's go to the option cards here. So we have this card that I talked about. So what this card does is it allows you to basically do a download, but for -5. Okay. So what it does here, it's cost to play of 0. Okay. The main skill here is to rest one of your Digimon. That Digimon, if you want to evolve a green Digimon this turn, you can reduce its cost by 5. Not the next Digimon, any Digimon. During your turn, you said, I will use the skill of the hidden potential discovered. Okay, so this is the card. I think this is really good to play something like the Gargamon for free and use its effect. You will not usually attack with him the first turn you play him, and something like the Argomon if you want to play him with 0, something like the Stingmon if you want to play him for 0. This is a really good card. So if you want to play the Kabuterimon from this set, because the problem with this card, it's not from the starter deck, this is from the next set, so I don't know how much it will cost, but it's an uncommon card, so I don't think it will cost that much. But if you want to play the Mega Kabuterimon, Hercules Kabuterimon from the starter deck, because as I said, it's a really good card, but the problem with it is that it's an evolution cost of 4. You need to play 4 of these, and you need to play a more of a download type of deck to make it work and make it easier to win it. Because the problem with the Kabuterimon as well, that the skill that makes him rest a Digimon your opponent have is by Digiburst. So yeah, the build will change a little bit, but I would rather make a deck profile for the Hercules Kabuterimon when set 4 comes out, the booster 4 that comes out in, I think, in May. Yeah, so yeah, I think this is a good card for now. The deck right now is good. For Hercules Kabuterimon will be better when the next set the set after 1.5 comes out. Okay, and the last option card here, I choose the one from the starter deck rather than going with the floor cannon. Make it a little bit cheaper as well. So this is Needle Arm or Chika Chika Bang Bang. I like this card. So the main effect here, it's a cosplay of 2. The main effect is rest one of your opponent Digimon permanently for any type of Digimon. It doesn't exclude the blocker like the floor cannon. But the main problem with this card is the security effect is not as powerful as the floor cannon, I guess so. So because the floor cannon, when it's used from security, it lets you rest all of your opponent Digimon, so that's really good. But for this one, it basically does the main effect only. So basically rest another one. But still, a really good card, in my opinion, way more consistent in my opinion than the floor cannon, because if your opponent have for example, a blocker on the field, and basically this is the last card you want to play. If you have like something like the Argomon with security +3, and you want to finish your opponent's security, and you have 2 more attacks, and you finish the game, I'd rather just go ahead and do this to stop the blocker and continue the attack and win the game, rather than something like the floor cannon, which does not rest your opponent blockers. So yeah, I like this card more. And the last 3 cards here are the Tamers. I don't like Tamers in green that much, other than Mimi. And yeah, I don't like Tamers in green. I usually like to play decks of green without Tamers, but this is as an option for a starter deck build, some type of starter deck build. It's not bad. Here, if one of your Digimon if one of your opponent Digimon gets rested, you gain +1 memory. So it work with the idea here if you played the Megas or you played something like Needle Arm. So yeah, they work. So yeah, this is it for the deck profile here. I hope you liked it. So as I said, if you want me to do the other colors, starter deck build, I will do it because I have the Japanese version of the cards. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.